What's going on, everyone? As I mentioned in my rogue video that I made the other day about builds, I mentioned the Obsidian Mammoth ×2 build that I sometimes run. I figured I'd make a video running that build for you guys, the high HP build. As you can see here, Obsidian Mammoth armor and helm. It's pretty rare that I play this build because I usually prefer just to go straight up mono shield these days, but I figured I'd run this for you guys. It's pretty similar to the standard build that I run that I mentioned in my rogue tutorial video. Same jewel slots, 3 dragon zodes, but no harmony here is going to make this interesting and challenging because this is Balrogs and gold vipers, which are a pretty challenging combo for a low AC rogue. And on top of that, I'm going to try and run Savage Heavens here rather than Massive Swiftness. So I'm sacrificing DPS as well. I do get some more raw damage compared to the Massive Swift, but I definitely am losing that DPS by selecting a Heavens Bow. So let's get to it. It's Vortex Lords and Gold Vipers. This should be... I haven't played this build in a long time. I'm probably rusted as all fucking hell. Let's give it a go. Another thing I want to try and do is I want to try and use as few offensive spells as possible to make it more challenging. And I could fireball these guys, and maybe in some instances I will, but I'm going to try to use as few offensive spells as I can. One thing I love about this build is the high HP. I noticed when I'm getting hit by these gold vipers, you can see the damage here from that one. Maybe that was just a low damage hit, but that extra HP, you know, makes you a little more solid if you want to use healing. And I still have a pretty decent mono pool of 463, so this is a pretty fun build. Okay. That was a little close for my liking. I'm going to have to bring them back up here. I could have fireballed them, I guess, but you know, we want to make it pretty challenging. That was pretty. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice movements. Very fluid. Just how I like it. Good to shoot from a distance like this too. You can kind of use your arrows to test the waters in a certain region. This is a good level too to kind of at least somewhat hone your auto aim skills, especially if you ever get into PvP where you'll be using auto aim on rogue constantly. But it's even if you don't PvP, auto aim is just a very useful technique in general to know, even in PvM. When I do auto aim, this is here. I'll do auto aim. That is an auto aim, what I just did there. For those of you who don't know what auto aim is.
Not enough mana.
I don't want to use all my yellows. Oh, very dangerous. You see there, in that instance, had I been on a classic Obsidian Stars build, I could have, I don't know if I would have died there, but I would have probably came pretty dang close if that would have been Obsidian Stars. As you can see, this build's kind of a trade-off. I mean, if you're playing a low AC healing rogue, Obsidian Mammoth ×2 is really nice to have that nice HP cushion. Definitely gives you more survivability. But if you're running super high HP like this, of course, you're losing the DPS by not using a swiftness bow. And it's definitely, you know, it's taking longer to kill things, and I don't have that burst damage. Okay, we gotta get out of there. See, this is the problem with not using a swiftness bow when you're low AC. You really have to keep your distance. You cannot play up close and attack like you can with high AC builds or even low AC with swiftness. You can to some extent if you're low AC. If you have a swiftness bow equipped, you can fight up close to some extent. When you're using a Heaven's Bow, this is absolutely ill-advised. You have to play your rogue as a true ranged character, especially on these sorts of levels. I would go as far as to say, too, that this combo of, that any kind of Balrog and Drake monster is actually probably harder for a low AC rogue, I think, even than Storms and Maws. I would go as far as to say that. Like, if I'm playing this build, I would probably rather face Storms and Maws than this combo. Drakes and Balrogs are very, very difficult for low AC rogues. The Balrogs, you know, they're sidewalking constantly, and Drakes have very awkward movement patterns. And you can't fight them up close, like I said. You have to play them at a distance. I'm going to switch to Massive Bow Swiftness here just to see what the difference is. I'm pretty sure it's going to make quite a substantial difference. Let's check my stats now. 450 HP still. 441 mana. Okay. Let's see what I can do. Okay, yeah. The difference in DPS already, I can tell, is quite substantial. And as you can hear, they just fall now. Yeah, see there with that, if I had the Heaven's Bow in there, I would not have been able to do that there. I would have had to have walked down and run. Even with swiftness, you can still get stun locked by a Drake's, you know, rapid succession attacks that they do. But the swiftness at least is pinning them down a lot better than when you're using a Heaven's Bow. But this is, you know, it's kind of almost too easy, so I'm going to go back to Heaven's Bow. Okay. So as you can see, even Fireball, with these guys' awkward movements, it's pretty difficult to use on them too. Let me see what my magic attribute is. 145, it's pretty decent. But Rogue just needs, when you're playing low AC like that, you just need a lot of room to cast. We got Gore Feast. Okay, that was rather anticlimactic. As I said too, I'm a bit rusted playing this build. I haven't played it in quite a long time. With full HP, I could probably survive something like that, but I'm not taking any chances. Oh, you motherfucker, you. And people complain about players abusing Diagonal Walk. The goddamn monsters abuse it more than we do. Okay, let's go up here. Okay. This is kind of a nice layout here because you can just kind of teleport back and forth and lure them and just use auto aim and bring them down. Okay. Should be almost done here, I think. Let's take a look if there's anything else I didn't get yet. What is it? Oh, there's one section up here, I think. Let's see. Just one guy? Yeah. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Obsidian Mammoth ×2 build on low AC healing rogue. Hell. Pretty fun there to play, as you can see. It's got its it's got its pluses and its drawbacks. I mean, you certainly are a little more solid on the HP department. So if you're getting hit, 472 HP. That's pretty good survivability against, these kind of foes, these are normally very tough for a rogue, and playing this was fairly challenging. I'm a bit rusted, but I did notice that the extra HP was certainly making a difference. Using a Heaven's Bow with this, it's definitely taking longer to kill things, and you can't fight up close like you can with a Swiftness Bow or a standard Obsidian Stars build. Even one-on-one, they really just get hits in, and you can survive that because of the extra HP. But it's not something you want to make a habit of doing with Rogue, just because you start playing your other builds, you develop bad habits, and then in other scenarios you'll end up dying. So you want to keep it consistent. But I thought I'd show you guys this build. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later.